This is 7 News, the voice of the border.
Tonight, Albury Council under fire for an Australia Day shake-up.
The council approves a controversial mountain bike plan on Eastern Hill in a fiery debate.
And Border Express to change hands after 40 years of local ownership.
7 News begins now.
Good evening. Albury Council will not be presenting community awards or citizenship ceremonies on Australia Day next year. It's a move the CEO says is a nod to reconciliation and respect for the Aboriginal community.
But many residents are furious with the lack of consultation, and our federal Member of Parliament has slammed the decision as a stealth attack on tradition.
Council have asked,
are we still going to have Australia Day celebrations?
And in that same breath, they've made their decision for Albury.
Spreading those activities over a week instead of a single day, again focused on inclusivity, more inclusiveness across the community.
In a letter published on the council website 2 weeks ago, the Albury City CEO announced the Albury Awards and citizenship ceremonies will now be held within 3 days of Australia Day. In wake of a resounding no on the voice to Parliament, the changes are twofold: boosting local attendance at civic events whilst acknowledging January 26 is a challenging day for the border's Aboriginal community, all without the input of its community and councillors. The letter promises consultation meetings, surveys and workshops, all of which we're yet to see. And when asked why the 11th hour change,
this is our way of saying, here's an approach. We want to be inclusive and respectful.
A disappointing discovery for some today.
Albury really did like Australia Day. It was a big celebration thing. A lot of people went down to the river. That's really sad.
The member for Farrer leading the chorus of uproar, slamming Albury Council for deciding the fate of the city's national holiday.
Our community will not accept a watering down of Australia Day by stealth. This is one of the most important days on our calendar, and it belongs on January the 26th.
Across the border, Indigo Shire Council have set the standard, consulting their ratepayers before voting to keep celebrations on the 26th of January. It's no surprise it's a similar sentiment on Dean Street today.
No, keep it the same. We've celebrated it all this time. We'll keep doing it, I reckon.
I'd be deciding to keep the date. It's a long-standing tradition, and I think, as I said, I think the majority would want to keep the date. But either way, surely the community's got to be consulted.
Promised a fair go, but handed the opposite. Phoebe Worthley, 7 News.
Well, it's being described as a radical shake-up of Australia Day under the banner of reconciliation and has definitely ruffled some feathers, with council now left to pick up the pieces of the controversy. Phoebe Worthley joins us now. And Phoebe, it's a massive reshuffle. Are these plans set in stone?
Now, Maddie, we are happy to reverse those plans if there is an overwhelming sentiment either way. That was the Mayor speaking today, making it clear that those plans have only been slated for next year. Council says the change comes amid a drop in participation for those community events on the 26th of January. The Mayor says the idea of spreading events those days before and after Australia Day will boost attendance. But that was not the sentiment in the CEO's newsletter, saying the change was driven by respect for the Aboriginal community, not boosting crowd numbers. Now, in news just to hand, federal MP Susan Lee will be launching will be launching a petition tomorrow. That's for the council to reverse its decision and change the dates. Maddie.
Thanks for the update, Phoebe. That's Phoebe Worthley reporting there for us tonight.
And Australia Day isn't the only battle on the cards. Last night, the council meeting erupted into a war of words over the Eastern Hill development.
Some are for the plan, some are against. And last night, a routine council meeting turned ugly.
I can't agree with this plan at all, and I feel sorry for the community that weren't properly consulted or engaged.
A war of words with Councillor Stuart Baker staunchly against the development on Eastern Hill, taking the chance to fire unanswered questions at staff.
Was there ever a count of the traffic up there? Whether they were walkers, runners, cyclists?
Calling council officers unprofessional and the Eastern Hill consultation process a failure. But instead of answers, council fired back.
Engage in targeted behaviour against council employees. That's disgusting and cowardly and unacceptable.
The decision to push ahead was voted in 8 councillors to 1.
You have to share. Nobody here owns Eastern Hill. It must be shared amongst the people of Albury.
Albury City Council did ask the community to have their say, engaging a consultant to find the majority of submissions were against the development, turning out today to face the music.
What's the point in doing have your say surveys if council will inherently override the view of the community anyway?
Feedback from the community is sought from a whole range of sources, and from that you have consideration for the feedback based on what they have to say.
At least 7 Wiradjuri elders and scores of residents have begged the council not to redevelop the hill. Now, with some amendments, the plan includes shared use trails rather than designated spaces for mountain biking alone.
Today, those for the plan say the debate has blown out of control. The outcome, a lose-lose for both sides.
I think the council just need to listen to what everyone has to offer. I can see they're trying to activate the hill. I don't believe that one user group should be given opportunity to just lock everybody else out.
A council problem not yet over the hill. Jacqueline Stanley, 7 News.
3 young people have been charged over a Wangaratta attack which left a teenager with stab wounds. A 17-year-old boy was stabbed in a fight that broke out in the middle of the night and he was airlifted to Melbourne Hospital. Since the September incident, the boy has undergone multiple surgeries. Police have now arrested 3 teenagers over the violent attack.
The Murray River Police Department is asking the council for more mobile CCTV to help catch criminals. Albury Council is set to spend $160,000 for another mobile surveillance unit, like the one stationed in South Albury today. The police have called for the footage for several investigations, and police say the cameras have been crucial in targeting hooning hotspots.
Insidious actions of criminal elements, and we see this here in Albury and Wodonga, and the rate of criminal intent and criminal activity in this area is increasing.
The cameras are also used to monitor floodwaters and serve as a crime deterrent.
Long-time Wangaratta Mayor Dean Rees is expected to have his position contested at an election tonight. Councillor Rees has been in the role for 5 years, and if he's voted back in, he says he won't be running again in 2024. Councillor Dave Fuller will contest for the top job, citing an opportunity for change. The elections are taking place as we go to air tonight.
The federal government has released a timeline for its nationwide vaping crackdown. From January the 1st, the first stage of the crackdown will include a ban on the importation of disposable single-use vapes. From March, refillable non-therapeutic vapes will be banned from being imported as well. The new laws have some people fuming, but others say they're glad.
It's been proven countless times that vaping's not good for you. My partner works in the health profession, and certainly I couldn't come home vaping.
It makes it probably a little bit harder for all the little school kids to be getting into it.
The federal government warned in May that it would crack down heavily on regulating the habit.
Border Express has entered into a conditional sale and purchase agreement. If the conditions of the sale are met and the agreement finalised, the Albury Business Institution will begin a new chapter.
Established in 1981, Border Express has been an Albury institution for more than 4 decades. Now, the family-owned National Transport and Distribution Services Company is ready for a new chapter.
Over the journey, we've taken on more and more expertise, and it's no longer its family members holding the senior jobs, so it's just a flow-on of where we've come.
Border Express has entered into a conditional sale and purchase agreement with Freight Management Holdings Group. If the conditions of the sale are met and the agreement finalised, Border Express will join an array of transportation companies under the Logistics Holding Company.
From the customer's point of view, there's going to be a lot more products that will be available.
Border Express would continue to operate under its own brand. Mr Luff is confident this transition would offer its 1,700 staff and contractors more opportunities.
There's a lot more opportunities with where their roles can take them, because you're talking about, while Border Express is national, what FMH is growing at the moment is going to be significantly larger than what just Border Express is.
Border Express and Freight Management Holdings Group will sort through the conditions of the sale and purchase agreement, estimated to be completed within the next few weeks.
It's been a major part of our lives for the last 40 years as a family, but we no longer have the keys if the sale goes through.
Rochelle Punikovic, 7 News.
Well, Kirsty is here now for a look at today's weather. And Kirsty, it's been humid today, and we've also seen a couple of showers about.
We have, Nick and Maddie. Hello to you both and good evening, everyone. Certainly a very muggy morning. Also following those mild overnight temperatures and those moist winds, it remained cloudy for most of the day, with that first band of rain moving across the border around about 11:30 this morning. We did have isolated storms around parts of the high country. Yarrawonga to 5 p.m. had picked up 6 millimetres of rain. Some quick bursts of rain in Albury around 2 o'clock. We've so far seen 2 millimetres. But a second, much more intense system is expected to move through overnight, bringing widespread showers and storms. There is a chance of some heavy downpours. Minor flooding is also possible, with a flood watch over many local catchments tomorrow. 24 today in Myrtleford and 13 in Mount Hotham. I'll have a look at tomorrow's wet weather forecast a little after sport.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Kirsty. See you in a couple of minutes.
Still to come in 7 News, a milestone celebration for the Women's Rural Network.
And the Vinnie's Christmas appeal kicks off. Welcome back. The Albury Vinnie's Christmas drive has kicked off in full force this week. Amid cost of living pressures, Vinnie's has seen a damning 18% increase in families turning to Vinnie's at Christmas. Toys, clothing and vouchers are all suitable donations that can be made at the North Albury Vinnie's. Vinnie's says this year's drive will last beyond Christmas because of the demand.
There's always someone that comes in a bit after Christmas that might have birthdays close to Christmas, and they've found that they need something. Yes, that all those sorts of things. And we really love, we do go out of our way to help children, absolutely, because we don't want them to lose or miss out.
The Albury Vinnie's aims to support 150 border families this Christmas.
Celebrating going strong, women from right across New South Wales united for the 30th anniversary of the Rural Women's Network. And organisers say women building strong relationships through networking is the backbone of regional towns.
30 years ago, Marg Carroll and friend Ronnie Hazelton saw the need for rural women across the state to be given an opportunity to unite and forge strong connections.
Yeah, things were tough, dire. And a lot of country towns were suffering as well as the women.
So in 1993, they created the first rural women's networking event to be held in New South Wales.
Got together a great team, did it up at the Orange Ag College. We had 400, and then the Ag College went, stop, enough, we can't fit you in.
Now known as the Rural Women's Gathering, for 3 decades it's travelled the roads to rural and remote parts of the state.
It's a great boost to the economy of a small town. People come, they stay, they spend money in the town.
Back in its birthplace 30 years on, women from all walks of life celebrating, the event still going strong.
And it's really empowering actually to see women in their 80s to women in their 18s here.
Inspirational women took to the stage, sharing their stories and discussing a range of issues affecting them.
They're taking home information to their communities and their family and the volunteer groups that are involved in.
The gathering also gave women the opportunity to make new friends while pushing boundaries.
It's all about, learning something you haven't done before, get outside your comfort zone and meeting other people.
Mariana Sarin, 7 News.
Still to come in 7 News, Sharks on the attack in women's water polo.
And a local female footy sensation wins a Rising Star Award. Welcome back. Sally Goldsworthy has taken out the AFLW Rising Star Award in just her second season in the competition. Goldsworthy was recognised as the best up-and-coming talent in the league. The 19-year-old Lavington junior polling 41 from a possible 50 votes to win the award by just one.
Takes off, sends it inside 50, over the head of Trudgeon. Out the back is Goldsworthy for equal career best number 3. What a brilliant start from the pocket from this young gun.
He caps off a remarkable season for Goldsworthy, which saw her become the Giants' youngest ever best and fairest winner. Goldsworthy also became the youngest player in AFLW history to kick 5 goals in a game. Well, Sharks have launched an all-out attack in women's water polo to thrash their biggest rivals. The defending premiers were unstoppable, blasting in 16 goals, with the match full of highlights.
So far in 2 games head-to-head this season, there's been a draw and a Poole Pirates 1-goal win. But the opening quarter of battle number 3 went next level as the pair went to quarter time 4-4.
Serious intent as Miles gets it in. Oh, it just is incredible.
But the second quarter belonged to Sharks, scoring the first 3 goals as they threatened to pull away. Then in the third term, that threat became reality as Leah Dodd helped herself to 8 goals.
Fires it towards Millett. Has Dodd inboard, she'll use her. She sticks the mid out as like a big fend off.
4 unanswered goals in the third, taking the margin out to 7 and the game virtually over. Sharks then winning the last 3-2 to move to the top of the ladder with a 16-8 win.
This is Morrison. Fires on goal.
Stingrays have overcome a slow start to win their second game over Albury. In a low-scoring contest, the Tigers leading 3-2 at half-time.
Sally Howard, she's in a good position to have a shot. Lobs it over the top, Howard. Class finish.
Both teams defensively sound, denying both attacks throughout the game. It was only moments of brilliance and teamwork that could defeat either keeper.
Harvey. A long ball, Howard.
Stingrays scoring the final 4 goals of the match to swim away winners 7-4. Meanwhile, between Sharks and Stingrays and the men, incredibly, just 1 goal was scored in the first and second term. Stingrays managing to score both, taking a 2-0 lead until Sharks finally hit the board in the third.
Under pressure here from Woodland. Cooper with a chance and a score.
A lot more entertaining in the second half with 7 goals scored, but it was always in Stingrays' control. Victors 6-3. Stephen Murphy, 7 News.
After an unbeaten 153, Patrick Harrington has taken over as cricket's leading run scorer. The new City batsman moving ahead of East Albury opener Matt Tom, with Lavington young gun Oscar Lyons third. In district, Luke Rafferty has notched 200 runs just ahead of Aaron Green, with Kiwa's Nat Surriman enjoying a good season. Finally, in Hume, Waller appear the team to beat this season, with Joel Merkel leading the runs. It's been a tight softball season, but no game has been closer than this. Grizzly Bears and Wodonga Gladiators played out the season's first tied game, leaving Wodonga with 2 sides inside the top 4.
In the most even competition the code has had in years, 2 sides in the middle part of the ladder went head-to-head. Grizzly Bears slight underdogs, but it didn't stop them applying pressure early. Both Gladiators and Bears pitched well, making scoring tough, with the match close throughout the contest. Neither side able to gain an advantage on the other. Bears with plenty of hits, but the defence of Wodonga was always up to the challenge. Gladiators fielding well to keep Grizzlies to just 5 runs for the match. As the clouds set in, a lead seemed vitally important heading towards the final innings. Wodonga also with their chances with bat in hand, but like their opponents, couldn't capitalise. The match ending in a 5-all tie, the first in what's a very even season. The other 3 games played not quite as close, with top sides Bundy and Drop Bears winning easily. And for the first time this season, Wodonga had both their teams in the top 4, with Warriors joining Gladiators. Stephen Murphy, 7 News.
Up next in 7 News, Kirsty's back and she's got your all-important local weather forecast. Is there more rain on the way? She'll tell you next.
Welcome back, everyone. A low-pressure trough is triggering widespread showers and thunderstorms, some severe. This system will drift southeast tonight and into tomorrow, with wet weather increasing for eastern parts of New South Wales and Victoria. A second low-pressure system is likely to develop around southern coastlines tomorrow morning, assisted by strong onshore winds. Inland regions expecting a bit of a reprieve through the end of the working week before a new trough begins to spill more rain, mainly into northern New South Wales, but also through southern Victoria into the weekend. 6 hourly rainfall totals could reach 50 to 100 millimetres through eastern parts of the state. 30 to 45 millimetres, though, could fall over the border region over the next 24 hours or so, possibly heavier totals in isolated thunderstorms. And a flood watch has also been issued, warning of possible widespread minor flooding in local catchments from tomorrow. Now, heavy rain is likely overnight to continue during the early hours of tomorrow morning, and in fact right across our Wednesday. At this stage, between 15 and 45 millimetres could fall on the border, with that chance of localised heavy downpours prior to midday. Temperatures in the low 20s about Beechworth, Mansfield, and in the high teens for Omeo. Tracking into Thursday, a chance of rain continuing, but at this stage no more than just a couple of millimetres. Temperatures again sitting about the mid to high 20s, partly cloudy for Cobram and for Benalla. However, there is still that chance of thunderstorms in the north across the border region. About the high country, heavier showers up to 25 millimetres of rain. Temperatures barely increasing from our overnight minimums into our daytime maximums. As we kick off the start of the new working week and, as we start off the new month, December, and of course the start of summer, right on time. It will be sunnier and clearer, clear skies in the morning, just a light shower or two returning into the afternoon and evening, and temperatures again in the 20s, but with a bit of a cooler southerly chill. A return to some wet weather on Saturday for our first weekend of December. From then we are starting to see clearer and warmer weather, but certainly some wild conditions on the way tomorrow.
Yeah, we've just got to get through Wednesday by the look of it. Thanks, Kirsty. See you later.
And that is your local news for tonight. Thanks for watching. You can catch up on our website, or of course, at 7plus.
7 News from Melbourne is coming up next. Have a lovely night. See you again tomorrow night from 6 o'clock. We'll see you then.